John Ritchie. No John today, no John this week. Great to be with you. Elliot here, Rhea here, Fran in for Seltzer. And you with us. Thanks for joining us on this Monday morning off and rolling. Hope you're having a good start to your week. Well, Phillies had a bad end of their weekend. Lost 2 of 3. Frustrating series. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Dodgers who are in town as the Phillies will crank it up with them tonight. World Cup is over. Eagles soon to start in 8 days. And LeBron has still not made a decision, although he has spoken. Look, we'll talk about it all. Do it with you on the phone lines. 215-592-9494. Elliot, how are you, pal?
Doing good. No better face to see first bright thing Monday morning than you. So very excited to be in here. Look, we're only 8 days away from training camp. Yep. My happy place. I can't wait for it. But we'll see if the Phillies can keep us invested till then.
Indeed.
Not a great weekend.
No, not a good weekend. By the way, I'd take Elizabeth Shue's face over mine.
Yeah?
I'd take Amy for Villanova's face over yours.
I would over yours, too. So
I would over me, too. All right, so crank it up, guys. 215-592-9494. Anything on your mind? Let me just quickly start with the Phillies, and then we'll get to some Eagles stuff. I got to tell you, I'm frustrated with the Phillies. I tell myself sometimes maybe I shouldn't get so frustrated because they have such an extraordinary record when the big three pitchers pitch, and they're going to be who pitches 85 to 90% of the playoff games. Now, that might be 2 games. It might be 15 games, if you catch my drift, depending on how long they go. So I know they have a tremendous record. Tremendous. When Wheeler, Sanchez, and Luzardo pitch. And that is going to be a defining element of October. But I also know, and if you don't know this number, wake up and realize it. They're 7.5 games behind the Brewers for a bye. 7.5 games behind the frickin' Milwaukee frickin' Brewers for a bye. And there's a very simple reason. And it's not April anymore. It's not all because they started slow. It's because they frickin' stink when the 4th and 5th starters pitch. They stink. They are exceptional when 1, 2, and 3 go. They are horrendous when 4 and 5 go. And that nets out to currently in a playoff position, 3 up on a wild card, although 3 back of the Braves. 3 and 3, 3 up wild card, 3 back of the Braves. But the big number I got my eye on, 7.5 freaking games behind the Brewers. And it is simply because they do not have a reliable 4th and 5th starter. So I wake up this morning, honestly, pretty frustrated. Even though I know they're likely to get to the playoffs, even though I know 1, 2, and 3 are likely to pitch as 1, 2, and 3 in the playoffs, 4 and 5, and the decisions that went into having 4B4 and 5B5, has put him in a 7.5 game hole, the Brewers. And obviously, you saw what you saw versus the Mets over the weekend, defined as Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Look, you can weigh in on the Phils. Do you share that frustration or not? Do you share major concern with that? Or is it not that big a deal because they're going to get to the playoffs and those big 3 pitch? All right, talk to us there, 215-592-9494.
I think the Phillies' biggest problem is they might only have like 6 good players.
They don't. Yeah, I think it's like 7 or 8.
Yeah, they're not a great roster.
No.
They're just
they're
not.
not.
Like the fact that they win so much really is a credit to how good Wheeler, Sanchez, and Luzardo have been.
Plus Harper and Schwarber.
Yeah, true. That's kind of it. Yeah,
and
well,
Marsh.
and Marsh, if you want to include him. So
yeah.
I just think when you watch this team, especially when you lose 2 or 3 to the Mets, like they're just not good enough to have really prolonged, sustained winning because of the 4th and 5th starters and because of the bottom of the lineup. Like they're just not going to be a team that wins all the time for a long stretch because of that.
And by the way, the bottom of the lineup, Bree, I define as their last 6 hitters.
I was like, yeah, exactly.
Well, Marsh has kind of plummeted after.
Right.
Yeah, he's cooled off.
He's cooled off, and so it's Harper, too.
Well, and then Sanchez has cooled off a little bit, too. I mean, his last few
bit.
starts have not been outstanding. And it just shows how important it is that the top 3 are elite, that when he's only, like, okay, it's a major concern.
Until this weekend, Bowman reverted back for the last week and a half or so to some April performance. It's very frustrating. There's no doubt.
Do you think they're a lock to make the playoffs?
I mean, I wouldn't say lock, but they're close to it.
Because what really struck me is you saying they're 3 back of the Braves and 3 up on the wild card.
Yeah.
Like they're just as likely to not make the playoffs right now as they are to win the division. Yeah. Just in terms of games, I'm saying. They're right there.
Yeah, but I feel very confident they'll make it. I'm not going to use the term lock. I feel very confident they'll make the playoffs. But
Not worried about the Marlins at all?
You know what the thing is, Rhea? I look at a lot of those teams in that zone, and the Nationals were one of them. There's a lot of fade on a lot of those teams. It's going to happen.
There could be some fade on this
I think the
one.
Marlins are probably saying about the Phillies.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not worried. If you're asking me, am I worried about the Marlins? My answer is no. I'm not. By the way, Dodgers in town, the next couple days, which will be fun. Just kind of wish the Phils were coming in with more momentum.